Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Northie and today is Sunday the 3rd of March and the time it's just going 5 to 8 in the evening, and I thought I'd just jump on here and record a reading for you all because I'm interested in this too. I know you guys will be interested in it. The reading is, we're looking at threats towards the royals and the overseas duo. We're going to start off with the overseas duo first. There's a lot going on in the world, and some of it's spilling over into Western societies, if you will. There's been talk today of increasing the terror threat here in the UK. There's been some videos by news stations floating around and articles. So I thought we'd have a look into that because H always goes on about his security. And then we're going to look at the working royals. We're going to look at the proper royals. We're going to look at William, and we're going to look at His Majesty King Charles III as well. So that is what we're going to do. Of course, H has put a target on his head because he published his, disputed, I must say, by some military people, his body count in Afghanistan. And yeah, so he basically admitted to killing 25 Taliban people. So we're going to look into that. We're going to look into the threats that he has potentially got, and then we're going to move on to William, and then we're going to move on to the King. But we're going to start with Harry and Meghan first. But before I begin, if you're new here, please subscribe and all that YouTubery stuff. And if everyone can share this video about, thank you so much. I might be sounding too chipper. I usually sound a little bit more cheerful, but this is deadly serious, deathly serious. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at Harry. Starting with Harry. Is there any threats against him? The Four of Wands. I would suggest that there's something straight away. The Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a happy home life, a home, and we know that things aren't quite what they seem there. But straight away, it's taken us to his home, his house. He's more annoyed by a Gemini with the Lovers crossing over him. So he thinks the biggest threat to him is coming from a Gemini. That would be Trump. He's most aggravated about Trump, to be honest with you. But there does seem to be something. Okay. He is definitely saying it's who he is as a person, not what he's done. So he's blaming his inheritance of being part of the royal family, even though he's not a working royal anymore. He still goes back to that and blames that for any criticism of him. We have the Page of Coins in reverse above. He's definitely gonna say that the threat is coming from white supremacists, and they're going to be saying it's because of his wife, and he's going to try and pass it off as how he's inherited it, what has come through. The Lovers card crossing over can well mean his marriage. It could well mean Megxie as well. But we have got, of course, the Donald who is running for election. Well, it looks like he's going to be running for election. And he's definitely blaming MAGA people for the threat he feels in the United States. Okay, let's see what's leaving the situation. 9 of Cups in reverse, and he's about to take a risk. The 9 of Cups in reverse. We're going back to the coronation here. We're going way back to the coronation. Something happened around the time of the coronation with security that he is going to kind of harp on about, I feel. The World in reverse. And the Queen of Cups surrounding him. Didn't he say that he had a more of a security risk than Diana ever had? Now, the children, the Page of Coins in reverse. That's kind of like an inversion. I don't believe that anyone really gives a toss about who has kids with who mixes with what. I think most people are way beyond that now. Yeah, there's always an odd person who's got some kind of bigotry, but the World in reverse. Now, it was interesting. I was chatting with one of you guys the other day, and I saw some comments, and there was another reader, and they were saying the World in reverse is their death card. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting, because every reader is a little bit different, you know. And I can see that, because the World in reverse is like the death card. But here, for me, he could be worst case catastrophizing. He could be worst case going over things. He's definitely going to bring out, and we know he's brought out his mother this very week, saying he was more entitled to security because he's got more risk than his mother was. Well, he's going to do something fairly stupid. And we've got Temperance here. And his boundaries are going to get pressed. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't an issue regarding security at Olive Garden Mansion or wherever he's living. I think they might move around a lot. The 9 of Wands there shows that somebody steps over the boundary. So something could happen coming up towards the end of the year. Now, this can happen quite quickly. He might do something that will put him at a risk. And then we have the 9 of Wands there. Now, the 9 of Wands is a boundary issue. He feels battered and bruised. So there may well be somebody who, I'm thinking more of an egg throwing, a tomato being thrown at him, boos and cheers. And he's so like thin-skinned that he would see that as an attack. But there's something where it tests his boundaries and he feels battered with it. And I don't wish that on anyone. Unfortunately, that's just what the cards are saying. The Temperance in reverse, though. Temperance in reverse here is he is trying and will try and make capital and get his way through all the noise that's happening right now in the world and try and kind of mess things up a bit and say, oh, look, we're getting bullied and picked on and da-da-da-da-da. That is definitely something that I can see him doing in these cards. He's going to put a risk out there, a big risk. Let's have a look at Megzy. The Star in reverse. Okay. So difficult being so famous. And the Prince of Swords crossing over. The Star in reverse, I feel like she's kind of wants something to be an issue. The security is a pressing matter for her. You've got the Prince of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords also relates to, I want to say, it's like uniform services. Basically, it would be security, policemen, that kind of stuff. So this is something that is very much on her mind. We have the Six of Pentacles in reverse and the Hierophant in reverse. Okay. So here we have, I just want to point out that we've got the Four of Swords upright and we have the Hierophant in reverse underneath Megzy. Harry is going to say he can't help being born into like the most famous family in the world. And Megzy is just like, oh my God, the royal family are so evil. The British state are so evil. All I did was fall in love with the ginger and they cut us off. Ah. So there's going to be some of that coming up. The Six of Pentacles is in reverse. So they have going to have issues and will have ongoing issues with their charities. I feel like they're going to use security issue to deflect from an issue that they'll have with a charity. The Emperor in reverse, and the Nine of Cups in reverse, a big celebration, and the King. So so I'm quite right in saying there's something that happened around the time of the coronation, around about security and them not feeling secure, not feeling looked after, and not being invited, and all of these things. And I feel like they're going to bring that up later this year. I feel like they're going to kind of like maybe sit down with Oprah, maybe sit down with Ellen. They're going to say something about this, and it's going to all kind of come flushing out. There's the World in reverse there. Again. Six of Cups. The Empress in reverse. Queen of Wands. The boundaries there. I wonder if it's actually going to, somebody is going to say something to Meghan. Or more or less come for Meghan, because we've got the Queen of Wands in reverse. You've also got the Strength card there. I feel like the threat there is very different. I don't see a direct, like, I know we started out on the house. I do feel like something's going to happen. I don't see it being completely the most serious, drastic thing, because they're wanting us with the Six of Cups to think of the children and look through rose-tinted glasses at Harry's childhood, because there we have the Queen of Cups there for Harry. I'm more important than my mum was. And then we have the Empress in reverse surrounding Megzy. So there's definitely something coming down the tracks. I don't necessarily believe that it is going to be it's going to be newsworthy, but it's not going to be life threatening, if you know what I mean. They are probably going to get heckles. They fought like some dude on a kind of like one of those like little city scooters was chasing them. They think everything is about them. They see microaggressions everywhere. So it could be them just doing this whole kind of, oh my God, clutching their pearls and going at some issues here. The world in reverse, though. Things are gonna, there's gonna be something. There's something coming down the tracks. I feel like it's potentially something exceptionally stupid. Again, they're going to do something more stupid. The Strength in reverse and the Queen of Wands in reverse. Now, how I work is there is a zodiac sign attached to every card in the tarot. I use the court cards, so like the knights and the to identify people, as well as the major arcana. Now, the Strength card is in reverse, and the Strength card relates to Leo. Meghan is a Leo. Meghan would also be in a Leo. She is a fire sign, so fire signs relate to wands. So I feel like there's going to be something happens where Meghan feels offended and upset about something. You got to bear in mind that she was upset and offended because a little old lady in Liverpool said, what you're doing to your dad is wrong. And that made the Netflix documentary, you know? So there's going to be something that, oh my God, poor little me, because somebody doesn't think I'm perfect. It's giving that rather than an actual threat. Now, the real royals are going to have actual threats against them, I feel. I hope not, because I'm a monarchist at the end of the day. And I am a great supporter of the royal family. So let's have a look. We're going to start off with William. Oh, look at the king. The reason we're doing William first is William is more active than the king at the minute. Obviously, because King Charles is receiving treatment. And I feel like the threats to the royal family are at greater risk because of their behaviour. Because people take things like racism and accusations of it very seriously. And Harry and Meghan have tried to poison the well. What we got here, the Seven of Wands. Okay, so straight away, William is standing his ground. He feels okay to do it. He feels like he needs to defend himself and stand up for things and stand up for what is right. So straight away, he is prepared for something. Ten of Pentacles, what's crossing over him? We have the Ten of Pentacles is a rich, wealthy family, and he knows he's part of that family. He also, there's an issue with protection here. We have the Four of Cups. And we have the Nine of Pentacles, okay. I think there is something coming directed towards William. The Nine of Pentacles, though, with it being in reverse, now I know they do spend a lot on security of the royal family, but I think they should be spending a little bit more. No matter how safe William says he is, no matter anything, they need to protect William more. They need to put some more money into it. That being said, you've got the Four of Cups above, so William's not necessarily going to be deterred because of, like, there's a threat against him. It's like he's not going to be listening to it so much. The Six of Cups. What he is very concerned about is his children. Very concerned about his young family. He wants them to have an ideal childhood. Two of Cups. The Four of Swords is there. And the Page of Cups. He's very concerned about his children, and he knows he's inherited a lot of issues here with his role, with his titles, with the Four of Swords there. Now, the Four of Swords, when it is in reverse, is my death card. It can indicate a death, not all the time, but it can do. But it's in the upright. Interestingly enough, the Four of Swords was in Harry's spread as well. The Page of Cups, though, is in reverse. He's very concerned about his family. Very concerned about his family. And the Two of Cups is in reverse as well. Okay. The Two of Cups, I feel that's because we're going to be seeing William by himself. He's going to be by himself when something happens. The Justice card here. That could be a Libra, but he has great faith in the powers that look after him, put it that way. He has great faith in them. And he thinks everything will come out right and good in the wash. He's a great believer in checks and balances, even though things do seem a little bit messy. But here we have the Hermit in reverse. Now, the Hermit relates to a Virgo, and Virgo is, of course, Harry. So we can look at it two ways. You're either going to get some older kind of feeling kind of guy, some kind of professory type figure trying to cause rubbish for William later in this year, which will affect William. But you've also got Harry, who is the Virgo. So Harry's might be throwing some stuff at William, even though he's feeling his battered, and someone's had a go at Megzy, or Megsy's having some more failings in the press. There's something coming down the line with Harry. Again, there is something coming like later this year with Preparation H. I wonder what that is, Preparation H. Is it a skincare thing or something? I don't know. I'm trying not to do too many funnies. I'm trying not to be daft because this is so serious. I think there might be a threat against William's family, to be honest with you. And he's very aware of it. But he's not necessarily listening at the minute, which is interesting. I think he's going to be fine with like going out and doing things by himself, but let's have a look at the King. Now the king is less likely, well, the king is the head of state, so he is the one with the biggest target. However, he is also not generally in circulation at the minute while he receives treatments for his cancer. Let me just, I haven't, some of these cards are the wrong way around. Okay, that's better. So while he receives treatment for the cancer. So let us have a look and see what the king has to say about the king. The Page of Swords. Interesting that we start off with the Page of Swords. He feels like straight away we've got this kind of like cutting through nonsense, quick thinking. And the Star. He is very hopeful. Completely hopeful, actually. He's an optimist. I think he just thinks this is just more and more politics. Interesting. And we have the Lovers in reverse above. I guess so that's a Gemini. He's concerned about William more than he is concerned about him. We've got the Knight of Cups underneath. Now the Knight, when we're looking at from King Charles's perspective, William's going to be more like a knight because he's younger than him. So he thinks he's very concerned about William. But we have the Lovers there. And the Lovers in reverse can also mean like there's a lot of disharmony. There's a lot of divisiveness. People are being difficult for whatever reason. And he's kind of got a longer view of things. I mean, people like have a go at King Charles all the time. And I don't get it because he's like really intelligent, thoughtful, deep thinker. He likes to think things very deeply. And I feel like this is like a, yeah. Now we have the Page of Wands there. People are hot-headed, angry. Okay, you want to come out. What are you? The Fool. Interesting. Interesting. The Fool was for Harry next as well. Five of Cups. Emotionally, he is. And we've got Justice as well surrounding him. Okay. Got the Emperor there. And the Ace of Swords. Interesting how we have the Fool in both places for Harry and the King. So is this the King's treatment coming to an end quite soon? The Page of Swords is the starting point for the King. And the Page of Wands. This is very much a clash of ideas. Western Europe against some countries in the Middle East, that not all. He is his first concern, and the only other character that's come through here is William. He's concerned about William and therefore William's family. The Five of Cups, I think he's got a deep sense of loss and regret at everything that's going on in the world. But we have got here the Justice card. So he kind of feels like things are going to kind of even out. You've just got to let the politicians politician, which is interesting. Here we have the Emperor card. Now, when I'm doing a reading about the royal family, the king would come through as the Emperor. However, this could well be politicians. This could be Parliament. This could be letting the democracy sort it out itself. I think he's an optimist and he just wants them all to kind of sort everything out diplomatically. The Emperor also relates to the Aries and Mars. If the Emperor was in reverse, I would feel like he was concerned about incoming war. But it's not, it's in the upright. So I feel like that is him feeling like he thinks like everything will just smooth out. Interestingly here, with all of the drama, with the Hermit in reverse seeming to come in towards William, the Queen of Wands in reverse, two very Harry and Meghan cards, and the Nine of Wands there, boundaries. We have the Ace of Swords. And with that Ace of Swords, I don't think, and I wish it had come out earlier, I don't think anyone is going to get through to the King or William at all. In fact, I dare say some politicians may be getting involved with some issues that may involve the royal family later this year. And with the Virgo, with the Hermit in reverse and the Queen of Wands in reverse, and Harry's boundaries also have been stepped over, it mightn't be good news for the Harkles. That is all I'm saying. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this reading, please let me know. Please leave a little Hamza hand or protective eye underneath. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. And yeah, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all for another one tomorrow. Bye, everyone.